This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the 40th Annual New Orleans Investment Conference 2014 here in New Orleans. I have with me Greg Beischer, Millrock Resources, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbols are MRO on the TSX Venture and MLRKF in the U.S. Greg, welcome back to SNN Live.
Shelley, thanks very much for inviting me again. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and to be here in New Orleans at this great conference.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. Give me an overview on the company for those that the information may be new, and then we'll come back and get an update.
Sure. We're exploration geologists. Our job is to find a giant ore body and pass it off at great profit to a company like Newmont or Barrick, one of the bigger mining companies in the world. So we are explorers, but we take the approach, given the very high risk in early stage exploration, of being a project generator. So we have numerous projects at any one time. We're active in Alaska and Mexico primarily. Gold, copper is the main focus, also uranium. And we make partnerships with major mining companies to fund the majority of the exploration on the projects.
So in getting an update after what you just said and what's been going on in the market, you must be having a field day.
Well, these are the best of times for the project generator. There's so many bargain opportunities out there for us if we have the cash. Well, we have the cash. We just closed a financing for $4 million. That's enough to last us at least 3 years, but we can deploy some of that cash judiciously to acquire yet more assets that we know will be worth much more when the markets turn back around.
You know what's really interesting, and what I think the audience needs to know, that when you make an acquisition, you're not just buying a piece of land. You're getting a lot of data, aren't you?
Yeah, data is important. It costs a lot of money to generate that information. Exploration is a very iterative process. It happens again and again and again until finally the discovery is made, and we hope we'll be the discoverers.
So when people in the business look at you, and they know you're a project generator, and they know you're out there picking up properties all over the place, aren't you attracting some interest from big partners that want to see what you've uncovered?
Sure, all the time. We've got strong relationships with a number of the bigger companies like Teck and Kinross, First Quantum. So we go to them first. They're investors in our company as well as investors in specific projects. So we often go to them first, but we maintain relationships with all kinds of mid-tier and major company producers.
So you're also a very good person to ask. In the market, of the companies that you're involved in, because you go across the board, uranium, gold, silver, what's the one that looks to you to be the most promising in the near term?
Do you mean small exploration companies like ours, or?
No, I mean in the world of ore bodies, is your gold project or your uranium project, which one's the most valuable at this time?
Right, the one that's most valuable to us is the one we're about to drill next. People often ask me, what's your flagship project? And that's the whole idea, is we don't have one. We have 20 different projects. All of them have a good chance. They're all at different stages of exploration, but the one we're about to drill is the one I always like the best, because it's the great discovery drill hole that'll make our share price go way up.
So in 2015, what's in store for Millrock?
We plan to be drilling holes all the way through the year on one project or another, using funding from our major company funding partners. So, like I say, every hole is a chance to make that big discovery, and we'll be drilling a lot of holes in 2015.
So how does it work with your partners in general?
We form option to earn a joint venture interest. So we give up, over a period of years, a majority interest in the project if they fund it to a certain level. We always try to negotiate a carried interest until, say, a feasibility stage. So at that point, there's something tangible in the ground. It's not just a bright idea that a geologist has. There's metal in the ground, and we can raise money to further develop the project at that point. And we'll kick in our minority interest. So we might only be a 30% owner, but we'll be a 30% owner of a mine about to go into production.
Greg, I've got I've got one last question that just came to mind. Comparatively speaking, if I'm an investor, if we're investors and we're looking at being in the resource space, and I go in and I think I like a company and I buy that company, I got maybe a 50-50 shot of making money with it. Why wouldn't I, as an investor, want to look at Millrock, which is diversified over 20 projects, to give me, you might be right on some of those, who cares? If you're right on one, it stands to reason that, your share in it might be profitable.
Right. You could really think of our company like a mutual fund of exploration projects. And it really, for me, all comes down to reducing risk. It's an inherently very risky business. So we're just looking for a way to reduce the risk, diversify across a variety of commodities and a variety of projects, and therefore increase the chance that we'll make the discovery that will be for the great benefit of our shareholders.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the website for you to go and check out the 20 projects. Look it over.
Sure. Our company's website is millrockresources.com. The symbol on the venture exchange is MRO, and on the OTCQX, it's MLRKF.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Beischer, Millrock Resources. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you from the 40th Annual New Orleans Investment Conference 2014. Greg, thanks for coming on to SNNLive.
Thanks very much, Shelley. Always a pleasure.
Good to have you.